Good evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Grant Olson is away again this evening. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Before we get to tonight's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window from the Local-Tel Sky-Fi Cross-Cam. A beautiful day in the Wenatchee Valley. Some commercial traffic going on there in the Apple Yard, and looks like some precip up to the north. We did hear tell, although the temperatures were pretty pleasant today, apparently the city of Chelan recorded a bit of a hailstorm early this afternoon. Eric Granstrom going to be along a little bit later on with that 7-day forecast you see in front of you and the full weather outlook for this weekend, plus some sports. Right now, a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. One of the two juveniles accused of smashing their way into a Malaga gun shop and taking $20,000 worth of firearms has entered a guilty plea. The state says all poultry shows and live poultry sales should cease for 30 days to counteract an epidemic of avian influenza, and political candidates put their names on the list to appear on the August election ballot. But first, our top story tonight. A 39-year-old Okanagan man had to be airlifted to Sacred Heart Hospital in Spokane after being ejected from his pickup as it rolled off Highway 20 just south of Okanagan early this morning. The Washington State Patrol says Levi Skinner was driving westbound about 2:30 in the morning when his 2006 Dodge Ram pickup crossed the center line, left the roadway, and rolled down an embankment and struck a parked 2000 Ford Ranger pickup. The State Patrol said Skinner was not wearing a seatbelt. His condition was not immediately available, but the State Patrol said he suffered from arm and head injuries. Well, one of the two juveniles charged in the $20,000 burglary of a Malaga gun shop has pleaded guilty to the crime. The 14-year-old from East Wenatchee entered a plea Thursday in Chelan County Juvenile Court to one felony count of first-degree burglary and 3 counts of firearm theft. Juvenile prosecutors agreed to drop 21 other theft charges related to the April break-in, in which the youth suspects shot the locks off a door and smashed display cases to seize an estimated 24 handguns and long guns. East Wenatchee police say some of those weapons were then distributed to alleged youth gang members and used to commit a robbery. The 14-year-old male faces a disposition hearing on June 2nd. Juvenile sentencing guidelines could place him in state detention for up to 8 months. His alleged partner in the crime, a 16-year-old male from Wenatchee, is scheduled for trial at the end of June. Well, as avian flu continues to affect poultry flocks in Washington, the state veterinarian is advising markets that sell live birds to cease business for 30 days. The influenza strain does not pose an immediate risk to humans, but it has now been detected in 9 backyard flocks across 7 Washington counties, including Okanagan. Infected birds are at high risk of dying, and state veterinarian Amber Idle says live poultry sales and fair exhibitions can help spread the disease into the commercial poultry industry.
Anytime we bring birds in from multiple places, multiple types of birds into one location, it's an extremely risky environment for spreading that virus, bird to bird and farm to farm. So we have made some recommendations to temporarily suspend exhibitions, shows, swap meets, and even poultry markets, because the risk is if somebody brings in ducks or geese and they're carrying that virus and maybe not exhibiting clinical signs and expose other birds at that market, then everybody who's at that market on that day or at that exhibition on that day has then been exposed. And then we're going to send that out to all those different buyers at those markets or swap meets or all those exhibitors that are there that might have had contact.
Well, today marked the filing deadline for candidates to appear on the August 2nd primary ballot. 2 Chelan County races appear to be contested. There's the Chelan County Sheriff's Office, with incumbent Brian Burnett facing a challenge from Deputy Mike Morrison. But at the Chelan County Clerk's Office, which handles legal records and Superior Court documents, longtime clerk Kim Morrison says she'll retire this year after 12 years leading the office and 33 total years working there. 3 people have filed to replace her, including Deputy Clerk Sandra Arashiga. In Douglas County, Rock Island Mayor Randy Agnew has filed to challenge the incumbent Douglas County PUD Commissioner Aaron Vebrock, who's just finishing his first term on the PUD board. We'll have complete candidate filings for you on our newscasts on Monday. When we come back, the Washington Supreme Court has a new ruling out on cannabis-related DUIs, and a local attorney says the standard isn't fair. Plus, the cost of gas is still on the rise, but a Central Washington Congress member has pushed through a bill to battle price gouging. I'm Jefferson Robbins. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Don't miss the 2022 Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival. You'll enjoy a wide variety of jazz, breathtaking lake and vineyard views, and fabulous wine. The festival features 50 shows at 14 wineries and venues over 4 days. Imagine a musical tour around the beautiful Lake Chelan Wine Valley. Grab your friends and get your tickets to the 2022 Lake Chelan Wine and Jazz Festival, May 19th through the 22nd.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Cannabis has been legal for adults to consume in Washington since 2012, but there's argument still about how to police its use when those adults become motorists. 5 nanograms per milliliter of blood is the standard for cannabis intoxication when driving. And on May 12th, the Washington Supreme Court ruled unanimously that the 5 nanogram limit must stay in effect. Wenatchee DUI attorney John Brangwyn and other lawyers have been arguing for a decade that the rule is arbitrary and not grounded in good science, unlike the 0.08 rule for alcohol intoxication.
There is no rational basis for 5 nanograms. It was a number somewhat picked out of the sky by the initiative writers to try to get the initiative passed. It did pass. At that point, there was some discussion that maybe 5 nanograms was a fair level and that there was scientific backing. But in the 10 years that we've had legalized marijuana, we now know that there is no scientific basis for that limit. Alcohol is fairly consistent amongst the entire population in terms of its impairing effects at a certain level, our legal limit being 0.08. Alcohol tends to burn off at a fairly consistent level of approximately 0.015 per hour. Marijuana, the 5 nanogram legal limit, has no basis in science. It would be completely different for every person. And so what makes it vague is that you don't know what your limit is. So if you smoke marijuana tonight, you don't know what limit you've reached, and your impairment has really no correlation to any set number. And the Supreme Court in this decision essentially acknowledges that. They essentially say, yeah, we agree, it varies greatly between person to person. And so what the state Supreme Court did is essentially said, this is a strict liability law, and we're fine with it being completely unfair.
Now, speaking of driving, this week, Wenatchee's average cost for unleaded gasoline topped $5 a gallon, almost $1.70 more than we were paying a year ago. The AAA said as of Thursday, the average per gallon price for regular unleaded gas in Wenatchee was at $5.11, which is up 25 cents a gallon in just the past week. AAA says at $5.19 a gallon, Washington has the 4th highest average gas prices in the nation, trailing only Nevada, Hawaii, and California. To help address that issue, the U.S. House of Representatives on Thursday passed a bill introduced by 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier, aimed at price gouging by gas and oil companies. The bill would forbid what's called unconscionable pricing of consumer fuels during emergencies. The vote was 217 to 207, with almost all of Schreier's fellow Democrats voting in favor and not one vote of support from Republicans. It would allow the Federal Trade Commission or state attorneys general to bring civil action against companies that jack up prices during an energy emergency declared by the president. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, we'll look at what happens when a group of scientists gets permission to set fire to the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. That plus weather and sports with Eric Granstrom still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Attention RVers and campers! There's a huge RV liquidation event going on now at Click It RV of Moses Lake. Click It RV of Moses Lake must make room for new inventory arriving daily. There's a huge selection of top quality RVs that must be liquidated to make room for new arrivals.
You're going to want to be at this event.
Get to Click It RV Moses Lake's huge liquidation event.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro? You probably already are.
Get the best deals anywhere at Click It RV of Moses Lake.
We guarantee it.
Hello, my name is Brian Brett, the Fire Chief for Chelan County Fire District 1, and I just wanted to talk about how amazing our Rivercom team is. They are intentional, purposeful, and skillful in everything they do, and they are the best at what they do. How they prepare, how they handle the caller, how they coordinate the emergency services, and how they push themselves to be the best. This is the kind of spirit that our Rivercom telecommunicators have. Our community needs you, we need you, we admire you, you're our lifeline.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Last week, the national forest lands around the Lake Wenatchee and Fish Lake area were briefly turned into a laboratory. Chelan County officials welcomed a group of researchers who were here to study how wildland fires behave in the local backcountry. I spent some time with those scientists. Here's our story. On a clear day above Fish Lake, with fire crews on standby and an emergency water supply at the ready, a group of scientists began methodically setting fire to the national forest.
Like in marginal conditions, I mean, just a cloud and you see the orange. Yeah. And then sun is coming and it's like pure plummeting.
But it was all for a good cause. Albert Simeone is a fire researcher from the Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Massachusetts. His team was in north central Washington for a week in early May to study how fire spreads in the dry East Cascades region of the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. The idea is to find ways fire investigators can work backwards to learn what causes a wildland fire in the first place.
Once we have the first set of data that are coming from the field, the idea is to systematically reproduce that in the lab under controlled conditions and then get numbers to back up the reliability. This reliability then we hope will be used in the guides to help fire investigators and that will make their work easier, so that's what we hope.
The work may contribute to solving cases of arson or other human causes of fire. Most of Simeone's previous study has taken place in forested areas of New Jersey. Chelan County Fire Marshal Steve Rinaldi leads a task group of the National Fire Protection Association that's revising the guidelines on how fires are investigated after they happen. When he learned Simeone's group was studying fire patterns under a federal grant, he offered to find test areas in Chelan County to contribute to the study.
That's a great opportunity really to be in two very different areas of the country and look also at the generality of our approach. So we develop it. The funding is in New Jersey, and then to see, does it still work here? Do we observe the same thing, or are there differences? So that's a great opportunity for us.
Over the week, the research team set a series of small fires on a set of half-acre plots. LiDAR and thermographic equipment measured the speed at which the fires burned, the heat they generated, and the fuels they consumed. The U.S. Forest Service approved the controlled burns, and their firefighting crews, plus Lake Chelan Fire and Rescue and other agencies, stood by.
We've got a lot of resources out here that's assisting, and we couldn't have done this without them, so thank you very much. It's very appreciated.
Chelan County Commissioner Tiffany Gehring observed the burn project and passed out commemorative coins to the team members as a token of appreciation. Their eventual findings could influence the course of wildfire investigation for years to come. Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the early part of the day. As we get through the evening tonight, we're looking for a change coming, but that's going to usher in some nice conditions as we look at the weather forecast for Sunday and next week. But first, we'll start with a look outside the weather window. Here you see a nice view of Wapato Point, and not a bad day for Chelan. It was mostly sunny through most of the day. This is a shot from earlier this afternoon with calm conditions for the most part, and we haven't been calm for a while here. It's been kind of crazy windy. Today's high was 65 for Wenatchee, 41 the overnight low. That was about 4 o'clock this morning. Looking at warming up as we get through the rest of the week. We're normally at 73 and 50. We're going to see more normal temperatures as we get into the end of the weekend and first of next week. 89 was our record high in 1963. In 1971, we were at 35 degrees for the overnight low. No precipitation to talk about. We may get a little measurable here in the next 24 hours. Sun will set tonight at 8:37. We're seeing about 2 minutes of extra daylight per day. Going to warm up a little bit for tomorrow. Not much, because we're going to get a lot of clouds and maybe some thunder shower activity. 68 for Moses Lake, 66 in Ephrata, 65 in Quincy, 63 for our friends in Ellensburg, 65 for the Wenatchee Valley, 64 in Cashmere, 57 for Lake Wenatchee. You go all the way up to Omak, and you're going to see about 66 degrees. Now, what's happening? It's calming down, finally, after these windy days, the last several days. In fact, wind gusts the last couple of days in the 50-plus mile-an-hour range. This is a look at our wind forecast and the wind gauge, and really not much happening here. Maybe a little bit of a dust up around the thundercell activities, but for the most part, things are calming down. Now, you see all these little white things that are in the clouds here, especially up here. Those are lightning bolts, and that's what we're looking at as far as a thunder shower activity through the night tonight and into tomorrow afternoon, with a slight chance of some thunder shower activity, some showers, some rain showers, maybe measurable, but then as we get to the end of the weekend, looking nice. Cloud cover going to resemble what we're looking at as far as the thunder shower activities. Will cloud up. We'll see the scrubbing of that warm and cool air. That's going to cause the thunder shower activity and the possibility for which, but then things are going to really clear up by Sunday and then into next week. Excuse me, we're going to see nice, cool evenings, but warmer than what we've seen as far as the temperatures are concerned. Here you go. We're going to dip down into the 40s again for the next couple of nights. That's that blue right there. But then we're going to warm up with the overnight lows more normal into the 50s and daytime highs. Check this out. We're going to get a little bit of an orange glow here, and then it's going to turn into a little red as we get towards the end of the week. And then next week, we could see 80 degrees here in Wenatchee by the end of the week. Now, as far as our 7-day forecast, well, there you go. The lightning bolts. Nice job there, Malcolm, to show us the lightning bolts there. Yeah, chance tonight, maybe a lightning strike or two. Thankfully, we're still not really in fire season, so hopefully nothing from that. We should get some moisture as well to accompany the lightning, so crossing our fingers. 46 for the overnight low tonight. Tomorrow we're going to see partly sunny skies, a mixed bag tomorrow. There's also a chance of thunder showers early afternoon tomorrow. Maybe some slight rainy chances through the afternoon and into the evening. 66 for the high on Saturday, 46 the overnight low on Saturday night. Then we start to see the warm up. 73 on Sunday with a beautiful sunny day and not much wind to speak of. So you want to do some golf, you want to do some things outside, you want to do some fishing. Well, there you go on Sunday. Extended forecast getting even nicer and more normal temperatures. Highs in the 70s, nighttime lows in the 50s, and look at that. By Thursday, maybe our first 80-degree temperature of 2022. That's a check of your forecast here on the NCWLIFE channel. I'll be right back with sports news on the evening news, so stay right there.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Finally Friday. Trevor Story was the story in Boston last night as the Red Sox pounded the Mariners 12-6. Former Colorado Rocky hit not one, not two, but 3 home runs and drove in 7 for the Bo Sox. Things look good early for the Mariners. Dylan Moore hit a 3-run homer. Ty France drove in a run to give Seattle a 4-0 lead. But then Story became the story.
Demo 1-2. That will get the job done. That ball smoked towards the monster and gone. Dylan Moore, pinch hitting tonight, starting at shortstop for J.P. Crawford to give him a day off, and immediate dividends, a 3-run homer. And the Mariners take an early lead here at Fenway Park. The other way, yes indeed, everybody run. Frazier digging hard, he's going to get the third, tied with the play in front, booted out there by Jackie Bradley Jr. Getting waved around is Frazier. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time.
In his last start, went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs. High fly ball, that is deep, backing up Rodriguez, turning now, she's gone. Trevor Story will touch them all. That was high into the night and one of the deepest parts of Fenway. And they want to meet you. Oh, there's another drive. He sucked this one deep, and she is gone. Trevor Story has tied the game, and he's done it all by himself.
Dylan Moore 3-run homer, RBI by Ty France. Trevor Story's hit 2 2-run homers. So take him out. Romo was warming up a few minutes ago. Yep, going to make the call. Going to take the kid out. We'll tell you about the next pitcher. It'll be Mr. Romo coming on in this ball game in the 6th. Well, let's see. George Kirby back on the mound, and there must have been some violation of a rule.
There definitely was, because Romo was getting loose. Kirby had gone to the dugout. Romo was already out towards the mound, and now he's done. They can't use him.
And hopefully Julio's going to make a catch here. Up against the wall. Can't get it too high. Verdugo digging for 2, and he's got a leadoff double. How about that circumstance?
So Red Sox trying to grab the lead. They have the right man at the plate. Trevor Story has been the offense with 2 2-run homers in the game. And he's going up the middle and off the glove, I think, of Toro. Verdugo will race into third. The throw gets away. Up against the railing. He's going to score. And the Red Sox have the lead. Seattle throws it around a bit. 1-2 high drive. He's done it again. Trevor Story cleans him off. His 3rd home run of the ball game. Goodness gracious. And that is what a 7 RBI night looks like right there.
Julio, deep drive, and that's a home run for Julio Rodriguez. 3rd of the season.
Able to hit his 3rd home run.
3-hit night for him.
And I'll tell you something, he didn't even catch this. This was towards the end of the bat. He's so strong. The ball has carry to it. And the exit velo's nice at, call it 99.
Yeah, J-Rod's heroics in the 9th, not enough. Mariners fall by a score of 12-6. Seattle and Boston playing the 2nd of that 4-game set. It's on right now on Root Sports Northwest. Well, turning to the prep schedule as the playoffs continue. State AB soccer tournament resumes tonight. Quincy's hosting Seattle Academy in the first-round action. Cascade will be at Lee Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl at 6 o'clock against Vashon Island in a first-round game. Bridgeport over at Sammamish tonight at 8 o'clock for a first-round matchup against the Bush School. Wenatchee Panthers play a quarterfinal match in the State 4A tournament tomorrow afternoon against Issaquah. The game will start at 4 o'clock in the Apple Bowl. A win would put Wenatchee into the Final Four. The District 6 4A's fast pitch softball tournament resuming today. In fact, right now, Wenatchee's facing a must-win game on the road at West Valley. Meanwhile, Eastmont's hosting Moses Lake for the district championship. That's at the Sterling Sportsplex. Winner of West Valley and Wenatchee will travel to the loser of Eastmont and Moses Lake tomorrow at 1 o'clock for the last chance at state. Also, Lake Roosevelt claimed the District 6 2B softball title yesterday with a 9-4 win over Okanagan. Brewster stayed alive with an 11-zip win over Tonasket. Bears will travel to Okanagan for a last chance at state tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. District 6 1A tournament will be decided tomorrow in Peshastin. Quincy plays Cascade first. That's followed by Kashmir and Omak. The winners will play for the district title following that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What else is happening? Well, there's a lot. Moses Lake baseball teams on the road into the Tri-Cities for the state 4A regional action. That is tomorrow. Chiefs face Curtis at 10 a.m. in Richland. That's followed by the host team in Mount Si. Winners will face off for the regional championship and a trip to the Final Four at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Other baseball, Alfredo will play Fife at the state 2A regionals tomorrow morning. That's at 10 at WF West High School. Shadow Park and Tumwater play the next game. The winners will play for the regional title at 4 o'clock. Chelan gets to stay relatively close to home for its Regional 1A baseball matchup with Meridian tomorrow morning at 10. They play the game at Wenatchee's Recreation Park. It's followed by Clahoya and College Place at 1. Winners will face off at 4. Okanagan's in Spokane at Shadow Park High School for its Regional 2B game tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock against Tri-Cities Prep. If the Bulldogs win, they'll face the winner of Toledo and Jenkins Chewelah for the regional title. And also, you can't get any closer to home than being at home. That's the case for Brewster. Bears literally have home field advantage tomorrow when they play Warden in the 2B regional at 10 a.m. They're followed by Friday Harbor and Kalama at 1. The winners will play at 4 o'clock. Also, Liberty Bell's baseball team is at Castle Rock for the 2B regional against Forks tomorrow morning at 10. If the Lions win, they'll play the winner of Ilwaco and Tootle Lake for the regional championship. Now, wouldn't that be something? If all those teams win, then we have Okanagan, Brewster, Liberty Bell making up 3/4 of the Final Four. Well, tomorrow night, Military Appreciation Night at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Thank you for your service. Racing will include the Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, Plum Perfect Roadrunners, and Bale Bonds, Angel Bale Bonds Bandoleros, and the INEX Legends. Gates open at 4:30. Racing starts at 6. Wenatchee Valley Skyhawks host the first place team in their league tomorrow night. 7-0 Tri-City Rush in town to take on the 3-2 Skyhawks. 7 o'clock, Town Toyota Center for some indoor football. That's sports news. Have a great weekend. Be safe and sane. Jefferson, back to you.
Thank you so much, Eric. Finally from us tonight, Washington State Department of Transportation crews tried out the new Barber litter picker this week in the Spokane area. The company Barber says the machine can clear a roadside trash in the fraction of the time it takes for manual crews and can pick up items as small as a cigarette butt and as large as a full garbage bag. Take a look.
I thought it was very impressive. A little skeptical at first, but I was amazed how it picked everything up. It picked up 2x4s. We picked up some plastic delineators out here, cardboard, plastic bags, and even pop cans in water bottles it was picking up. You could pick up a lot more garbage with this in a day rather than 3, 4, 5 individuals picking up with the picker in a bag.
Need that for my living room. Well, Dan Koontz hasn't been around for a few days, but that doesn't mean he's not busy. Here he is with a glimpse of what you can expect Monday on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
Thanks, Grant. Join me on Monday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Cindy and Maggie, two lovely ladies, will be joining me. What are we talking about?
We are talking about the TripLink program, the new TripLink program here, located at Columbia Station.
It's an important thing for you folks who need to get down here to town and you live out in the boondocks. We'll tell you about that on Monday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
For the last time, my name is Jefferson. That's it for our news tonight. Please look for all these stories and more on NCWLIFE.com. I'm Jefferson Robbins. Grant Olson will be back behind this desk on Monday. Have a great weekend.